Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I have learned as I have grown into the person that I am today. And before I get into a meditation today, I want to share a new old book that I am reading. I've actually brought it out several times in the last 2 years and committed myself to reading it all the way through. I think that I have read it all the way through at least once. Oh, it's so weird. So this is my mom's version. I just found a note card in there. I think I've read it all the way through once, but I don't oh my god, did I find another note card? I found another today's lesson from my mom's church, and I found notes written all over it. This is so exciting. But I don't remember reading a lot of it. And so I saw it the other night when I was going through some of my meditation books, and I was, oh my gosh, I found another one. There's all kinds of note cards in here. I was like, okay, I think that I'm going to commit myself to reading a couple of these every night and getting all the way through it. So I like to have at least like one self-help book, one motivational, inspirational book that I'm reading at any given time to, you know, just kind of like for the month. So I try to pick one for the month. So I think for April, I hadn't really picked one yet, and it's already halfway through the month. So I think that I'm going to pick Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, and it's all small stuff. Simple Ways to Keep the Little Things from Taking Over Your Life by Richard Carlson, PhD. This book has been out forever. I'm sure many of you guys have heard this. I'm sure many of you guys have heard of this saying, don't sweat the small stuff. Let me read you the synopsis on the back if you do not know about it. Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, and It's All Small Stuff is a book that shows you how to keep from letting the little things in life drive you crazy. In thoughtful and insightful language, author Richard Carlson reveals ways to calm down in the midst of your incredibly hurried, stress-filled life. You can learn to put things in perspective by making the small daily changes he suggests, including advice such as think of your problems as potential teachers. Remember that when you die, your inbox won't be empty. And do one thing at a time. You should also try to live in the present moment. Let others have their glory at times and lower your tolerance to stress. You can write down your most stubborn positions and see if you can soften them. Learn to trust your intuitions and live each day as if it might be your last. With gentle, supportive suggestions, Dr. Carlson reveals ways to make your actions more peaceful and caring, with the added benefit of making your life more calm and stress-free. So I started this last night again, and I read the intro to it, and then I went in and I read, I think it was like the first 3. Yeah, I read the first 3 last night. So I'm on chapter 4, which I have my Freddy Cougar bookmark right here. Be aware of the snowball effect of your thinking. So the first 3 chapters that I read last night, well, I read the introduction, which I'll get to in just a second. And then I read Don't Sweat the Small Stuff. All the chapters are really short in here if you guys want to read it along with me. I'm gonna finish it this month. So, and I'll probably be talking about it from time to time, and I'll probably do a review of it over on my BookTube channel. But the first chapter is Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, and It's All Small Stuff. The second chapter is Make Peace with Imperfection, and he talks about perfectionism in there. And the third one is Let Go of the Idea that Gentle, Relaxed People Can't Be Super Achievers. And it talks a lot in there about this idea that we have a societal idea that people that are super achievers are people that are constantly on the go, and they're very busy, and their minds are always full of ideas. It's interesting because I have read the introduction now probably like 6 times. I keep on picking up this book, and every time I do, I read the introduction. But in the introduction, he talks about where he came up with this idea about don't sweat the small stuff. And he's talking in here about how when he was putting out this book, that on a previous book of his, he had received a quote from Dr. Wayne Dyer, right? Dwyer. Dr. Wayne Dyer, who is also one of my mom's favorite writers as well. And my mom had a lot, like Scott Peck, The Road Less Traveled. She loved that book. People the Lie. My mom loves Scott Peck. But anyway, he talks in here about how when the book came out, like he had sent an email to Dr. Dyer to include this quote in his book, and like he never had heard anything back from him. So when the book came out in like international markets, it had the old quote from that Dr. Dyer had like supported his past book in. So he called his publisher and he was like, you've got to remove the books. Like you've got to take them down because that quote is not approved. And he reached out to Dr. Dyer, and he said to give him an apology, and Dr. Dyer responded to him and said, Richard, there are 2 rules for living in harmony. Number one, don't sweat the small stuff. And number two, it's all small stuff. Let the quote stand, love Wayne. And I love that, you know, and I love the idea of don't sweat the small stuff. I'm getting teary-eyed even thinking about it. And it's all small stuff because when I look at my life, you know, and I think that I know when I'm saying this, there's going to be people out there that are going to say, wait, it's all small stuff. Like we shouldn't sweat about anything. We shouldn't get stressed out about anything. To some extent, yeah, it is. It really is, you know, and I know that there are going to be people out there that have an issue with that, and I totally understand that. You can take that up with Richard Carlson and Wayne Dyer, which is where the idea came from. But, you know, when I look back on my life and I look at things in my life that I've gotten really, really upset about, or things in my life that have really stressed me out, you know, they're things that in the moment, they seemed very serious to me, but 6 months later, 6 weeks later, 6 years later, I've completely forgotten about them. In fact, if you ask me why I was so upset about that at the time, I don't even know that I could remember today and tell you why I was so upset about it, you know? And I remember, and I've shared this story before, that there was something that had really upset me this one day. I actually do remember what this was, and it's very trivial. And I was talking to Tanya about it, and Tanya and I had gotten a fountain, my best friend Tanya, and we got in a fountain pop that night. And at the time, her other really good friend, that her and her husband had been best friends with this couple and raised their kids together and stuff like that. The husband he's since passed, but he had brain cancer. And so, you know, I'm going on, and can you believe this? And I'm so stressed out about that, and blah, 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 whatever. And then I said to Tanya, I said, what did you do today? And she said, well, I went over to their house, and I stopped on the way at Redbox, and I got a bunch of movies for them so they could just sit there and watch movies. And then I cleaned their whole house and, you know, made them dinner so they could enjoy it, and I got them snacks and stuff like that just so they could have a whole day spending it together so they didn't have to worry about anything else. And it stopped me in my tracks for two reasons. Number one, because that's the person that I want to be. I want to be that person, you know, that's so selfless and always gets out of self. Tanya has always been an example of that to me in my life, and that's one of the reasons why she's my dearest friend. I learn things from her all the time. And I'd like to say that today I'm more of that person. I don't think I am exactly that person, but I'm more of that person than I was. And I think it's in witnessing how other people act in this world, number one. Number two, in that moment of recognizing that this was one of the last moments this couple was going to share together and what Tanya had done for them, it really shrank in size what was important for me in that moment, you know? And I know we get in this world where we want to say, well, what I'm going through is important, and what I'm going through is this, and it is, right? But is it worth a day of your life? Is it worth, like, if you're not going to remember it 6 months from now? You know, because there are things that are really serious to worry about. But when he says, and it's all small stuff, you know, I think in my life, when I have been in the moment of a really sad experience or loss or during a traumatic situation, I'm not really thinking about those things. Those things, in all honesty, a lot of them just kind of take care of themselves, or you don't really give them any energy. So yeah, in reality, they all are small stuff, you know? And the things I've worried about, the things I've tried to control in my life, you know, as a person in recovery, like, control is a huge issue to us. As I've tried to control outcomes and I've worried about outcomes, and I've stressed about the past, and I've stressed about the future, and I forget the present moment. You know, yeah, I look back on all that stuff, and a lot of that stuff really was small stuff. It really was, you know? And I was so stressed out over nothing, you know? So I want to recommend this book. If anybody wants to read it along with me, like I said, I'm going to read it during the month of April. And then, I mean, it might take me a little bit longer than that. I think it's like 100 and some chapters. I think I probably even talked on here about how I was going to read it before, and then I never finished it. It's exactly 100 chapters. So I'm going to read a couple of them a night, and it might go over into May as well, but I'm going to do a reaction to it on my Peter Likes Books channel when I'm done, if you guys want to react to that. It's interesting, in here, my Aunt Kathy gave this to my mom. So the book came out, she gave it to my mom on October of 1997, and she said to my mom, enjoy, love you, Kathy. The book came out 1997, so she must have given it to her right when it came out. I want to see what that... So, interestingly enough, when I go through here, my mom has, like, underlined favorite chapters of hers in here. So I wanted to go through really quickly and see what some of them were, because I didn't look really last night. Don't interrupt others or finish their sentences. Oh my gosh, something we both shared. Do something nice for someone. She wrote something out here to the side, but I can't see what it says. Then... Ask yourself the question. She has this one starred and underlined with red ink. Will this matter a year from now? Seek first to understand. Become a better listener. Choose your battles wisely. This one she has a big arrow too. Become aware of your moods and don't allow yourself to be fooled by the low ones. Look beyond behavior. Life is a test. She's got a lot of these underlined. Choose being kind over being right. Oh, this one she has avoid weatherproofing. Finding flaws in people she has written underneath there. Resist the urge to criticize. She has that one with an asterisk next to it. This one she has underlined in red and blue and a sign next to it. Just for fun. Agree with criticism directed towards you. Then watch it go away. Interesting. Understand a statement. Wherever you go, there you are. Breathe before you speak. I mean, she's got all these underlined. I mean, not all of them. Get comfortable not knowing. Practice ignoring your negative thoughts. She's this one underlined. If someone throws you the ball, you don't have to catch it. Oh, I love that one. Oh, I can't wait to read that one. That's chapter 89. That means like if somebody's like trying to get in an argument with you, you don't have to ignite the fire. You don't have to engage in it. You can just go, you know what? Okay. So you don't like me. I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, I'm really excited about reading this. I want to go in here and look at this note card that I found from my mom and see what she has written on here. Oh, she's got, oh my God. She's got all this stuff written on here. Oh, this is about weatherproofing. She's got on here, she's got notes about this. And then she has on here, formal dinner. On here she has number 7, don't interrupt others, page 25. Then she has number 11, imagine that everyone's enlightened except you. And then she has an art catalog that she's going to buy from Mrs. Dillon. I don't know who that is. And then she has formal dinner, finger bowls. And then a book that she was going to buy called, it was by Margaret somebody, A Southern Belle Dinner. And then she writes, avoid weatherproofing. And the back of it is all about weatherproofing. Okay, that's interesting. And let's see what's on her little church thing. Where's the other card? Oh, maybe I just have pulled the same card out twice. Okay, let's see what's on the church notice thing that she's got pages underlined in here. This is going to be like going down memory lane with my mom. Okay, here it is. Today's lessons. Prayer of the day. Maybe we should read the prayer of the day for today. Oh, she's got written on here, Who Knows Where the Time Goes by Judy Collins, one of my all-time favorite songs. Pour upon us the abundance of your mercy, forgiving us those things of which our conscience is afraid, and giving us those good things for which we are not worthy to ask, except through the merit of your Son, Jesus Christ. And then she has on here, gas, oranges, Radio Shack. This is so my mother. And then she has, she put on here Jack and Diane. So Jack, my mom's best friend's name was Diane, and her brother's name was Jack. He lived on a houseboat in San Francisco Harbor, which is what my mom wanted to do all of her life. And then she's mentioning another friend, and then she's got stuff highlighted on here for readings, but she had this in here. She probably had it on a certain page for a certain reason. Now I don't know why. Anyway, so I'm reading this month, if y'all want to read it with me. Now let's get into a meditation, shall we? Okay, let's get into a meditation. What is today? Is it the 17th? 17th? I think today's the 15th. I think today's, I'm in February. Okay, let's go to April. April 17th, I believe it is. Taking care of ourselves. This might be a good one. Okay. We often refer to recovery from codependency and adult-child issues as self-care. Self-care is not, as some may think. Well, I don't really know what self-care is. I think I realized in the last year. I thought I knew what it was. I thought it was long walks and face masks and drinking tea and reading. And I think that's part of it, but I don't think that's the focal point of it. We often refer to recovery from codependency and adult-child issues as self-care. Self-care is not, as some may think, a spinoff of the me generation. It isn't self-indulgence. It isn't selfishness. In the negative interpretation, it isn't selfishness in the negative interpretation of that word. We're learning to take care of ourselves instead of obsessively focusing on another person. We're learning self-responsibility instead of feeling excessively responsible for others. That's huge. That's powerful. Self-care also means tending to our true responsibilities to others. We do this better when we're not feeling overly responsible. Self-care sometimes means me first, but usually me too. It means we are responsible for ourselves and can choose to no longer be victims. Self-care means learning to love the person we're responsible for taking care of, ourselves. Wow. We do not do this to hibernate in a cocoon of isolation and self-indulgence. We do it so we can better love others and learn to let them love us. Self-care isn't selfish. It's self-esteem. Oh God, I gotta remember that. That is so good. I won't remember that. Today, God, help me love myself. Help me let go of feeling excessively responsible for those around me. Show me what I need to do to take care of myself and be appropriately responsible to others. I think it's a hard lesson. I think often when we're focused on being responsible for other people, and that means, you know, we sometimes forget our own responsibility, our own accountability of taking care of ourselves when we're taking care of everybody else. And I know the question I'll get is, well, I have kids, I have parents I have to take care of, I have a spouse I have to take care of, what do I do? Well, you have to take care of yourself. You know, it's like the coin that I got when I got out of treatment. It said you must first be a value to yourself before you can be a value to somebody else. I don't even think I knew at the time what that meant, but I think I do today. And what that means is you can't pour from an empty cup. And I have to be able to take care of myself and know that I'm good before I can give to somebody else. If you think about how you act in moments where you're irritated, you're stressed out, like we were talking about earlier, you're letting things bother you, you're probably kind of short with people, irritated with people, and you're probably not helping and loving and kind to them as you would hope to be. But if you're taking care of yourself in those moments where you feel relaxed, where you feel like you're taking care of yourself, where you think that you're being responsible for eating healthy, you know, getting some good rest and all those kinds of things, then you're able to be there more for other people. And I know that there's those exceptions where people will be like, well, I can't get any rest because I have 5 people to take care of, 2 jobs. I understand that, you know, and I don't know what it looks like for you, but it has to look some way, because you can't continue to go on like that forever. I have had so many friends of mine that have done that and they have burned themselves out. At some point, I'm such a believer, I keep on seeing this quote come up on Instagram, and I know it's cheesy, Instagram, but it keeps on saying, like, if you do not take time to rest, your body will force you to rest. Those friends of mine have gotten sick. You know, it's like life kind of forced them. Like, you're going to have to take care of yourself if you don't, you know? And so I think that you've got to figure out what that looks like. Even if it's just 5 or 10 minutes a day. You know, people, I don't have any time. You don't have 5 minutes a day? 5 minutes a day to sit in a chair and just close your eyes and just relax, listen to the birds chirp, listen to a favorite song of yours. Not 2 minutes a day to do that. Anyway, let me know what you think about all that in the comment section below. I love you guys, and if you're going to read the book with me, don't sweat the small stuff. Let me know in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.